Hi, it's Susan at Seaside Stitches. I've not videoed since June. I've not put one out since June. I'd like to just say I'm sorry to all my subscribers that I've let you down, but I feel like I'm back now. And I'm back with a vengeance, and I'm back with an obsession about making bags. And this is one of the ones that I've done. I'm not quite finished it, but it's inspired by someone on YouTube that I can't remember. I'll find that out and put it in the link. And also that I've got a bit obsessed with ByAnnie products and bag making things. So I'm just going to use this as a link to a kind of catch up video about what I've been doing recently. And I'll just pop that on one side. This is one of the ByAnnie bags that I've made, and I really like it. Excuse me, it's called the Open Wide, and that's because when you open it, it opens wide. And it comes in 3 sizes. I'm not doing an advert for it. I'm just going to say I'm up to redoing the binding on the top of this, and then I can put to do the binding on the top and put the zip on, and then there's a baby one in here. And then I'd already done the binding on one side and it was a bit crooked, so I've taken it off and I've redone it, and now I've just to fix the other side on and then do the binding, the zip, and then the rest of the binding. So I'm on my way with those. I really enjoy doing them. It's been quite a shift in skill set, trying to manoeuvre fabric. I can go into that after anyway. So I feel like I'm back now, and let's see how we go. It's the 2nd of December. I'm certainly not going to do Vlogmas this year. Last year was my first year of videoing, and I'd only been doing it about 2 or 3 months, if that. And I attempted Vlogmas, which was so hard work, and so deep respect and lots of love to anyone who is doing it this year, because there are some exquisite and I can't think of the word, really committed sewists out there who do deliver just lovely content every day and work towards it being Christmas. So instead of doing that, I'm just going to do some catch-up videos with you. And it's lovely to be with you. So thank you for watching. And if you do like what you see, then please give it a thumbs up, or please give me a comment. I like to know what you're thinking, and see if there's got any ideas that I can help put other videos together. And please do subscribe if you're happy with the video. Okay, I'll crack on. See you in a bit. I love this, absolutely love it. It's called Open Wide. If you can see some creases, that's because I folded it to take down to show my daughter-in-law when we went for a week. So it folds down. But if you show that, this is not made with any soft and stable, it's made with fusible bosal on both sides. And yeah, but if you show it a bit of steam, that'll all relax out. It's really, really good. I'm really pleased with this. It's my own little masterpiece. So it's just the way she thinks of different things, of different finishing things. So you've got your zip there, a little zip, a tab that you can push your spare hanging out zip, little zipper pulls. These big zips, I like them. It's open wide because you can open it wide. And there are mesh pockets, 1 large one and 2 small ones. Well, they're not small, are they? And there's loads of room in there. This is the giant one. There are on the pattern there are 3 sizes. And this, I like this bit where you you pleat that. Well, you sew it, and so it creates its own little pleating section. So it falls in. I just really like this bag. So I'm move to make many more. And that's just your handle from that side, and then tuck him in again. But I wanted to make it really bright and cheery, and Amy loves it, so it's earmarked for her. But I want to take a photo of it when I've finished the smaller ones, because I'm part way through number 2, which is the medium size, and number 3, which is the small dinky size. So I've still to do some binding on this one, and then it's finished. And then I've got, as you can see, an extra side to put on, the binding to put on, the zip to do, and then to bind the whole thing. So, but I'm using exactly the same fabric and coordinating fabric and lining, but I'm changing the zip colours. That's all. That's the difference. So. Okay, and then there was light. Bing, bong, 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 bong. So I have a line down the middle, drawn in with a blue pen. I'm hoping it's chalk, but it did wash off when I did a test before. And long while since I videoed. So I'm attempting to sew down the middle to start my first line of straight line quilting. Okay, so this is a quilt sandwich. That is the lining fabric to a bag that I'm making. It's a ByAnnie bag called Open Wide, and sandwiched in it is, I've got Bosal, but ByAnnie patterns recommend ByAnnie Soft and Stable. I didn't have that, so I put fusible on both sides, Bosal, and I'm now starting from that line that I've got, that I've drawn on there. I'm going to use my wide hem foot. It's just a foot with a little gauge on the end, and you can move it in and out so that you try to stick with where that will sit and run along this seam, and we shall see how we go on. It's like fighting a little. The problems of doing this are at the end, at the beginning when you're trying to start. I know I should have took those off. It doesn't come over the height of the fabric, so it can send you wonky straight away. So I've just got to concentrate. Right. So I'm going more or less as slow as I can, because I've tried it before and I go all over the place. So I'm just doing, rather than keeping up with it, I'm just doing it and stopping and stopping and starting, and let's see if I can make a decent job of it. also is quite strong, and it kind of fights you back a bit. Okay. I'm up to the point where I'm making a mesh and putting what they call fold over elastic that I've only ever seen as a ByAnnie product, but I don't know if it's anywhere else. And the elastic has got a rib down it, like a crease, and I'm applying it to this mesh. Right, I know this is not an ideal angle, it's just to give you an idea of what I'm up to. I'm trying to attach this fold over elastic all in one go. So I've put the mesh on top of the elastic, I turn it over at the crease on the elastic, try to grab all 3 layers, and all I've done is put a pin at the top and put it underneath my foot, and I'm just going to see if I can ease it along. I've never done this before. I'm not meant to stretch the elastic. So let's see how this goes. I know my hand will be in the way, but it's just a start to see. Right. Just placing the mesh against the fold and turning that, I have to ease it a little bit, turning that over. It's the first time I've ever done this, so it may work, then it may not work. Whoa, now I've gone out of line a bit. I could just see this shiny side of the elastic underneath the mesh then, a bit far out, so I just wanted to make sure it's back in place. That's reasonable. It's a bit tricky doing it without actually stretching the elastic over as if it's bias binding. So. Oh, it's looping underneath, but I've caught it, but my stitches are looping, so I will have to sort out the tension. I'll just do this as a practice. It's not tight enough. Anyway, don't know if you can see that, but on the back it is all looped. So there are possible reasons for that, and maybe I would be better with a ballpoint needle, because I've been sewing cotton and I've been quilting, but I'm sewing elastic now, so I may have been better with that. So, well, I've caught all 3 layers, and that's the most important thing. So I can work on how to do it better next time. On side A, and I've got this one bound now. This is a little strap so that you can tuck the back of the long tail of the zip down, and side A is on the left of the bag. No, it's on the right of the bag, and no, yes, that's right, sorry. Side A is on the right side of the bag, and the zip will go in at the top of here. So I'm going to be putting this binding over. Okay. I'm doing this ByAnnie bag. I keep saying what it's called, but the ByAnnie bag, that is the open out. It's like a large cosmetic bag, toiletries bag, and I'm just, this is where I'm up to. I'm just about to turn this binding over and clip it, which is all I'm doing for now, clipping it. But I need to make sure that this line is covered. I'd done a bit of a wonky line and it was gone a bit within the quarter. It's a scant 1/4 inch seam, which to me is just a 1/4 inch seam using my 1/4 inch foot, but I've got my needle over one further, one to the right, so it means that, oops, when I sew it's a little bit over here, and then I'll correct that, do that now. When I sew this on, I'll sew that where it's more in the centre on the foot, and then it should cover that and come out on the back of this, which it may not do, but there you go. So I'm just placing clips all around it, and normally on these bags Annie has you putting the curved side, the bit that's had the curve put in it, on the bed of your machine, so you're sewing like that. But actually that's how I put the binding on, and this on the other side, and this bit I'm going to be doing it on the top. I can't explain it very well. But, there are loads and loads of videos on ByAnnie patterns. Oops. So I just went round and refined this scant 1/4 inch seam, so it wasn't so wonky, and that this binding will get much nearer to that. And as I'm going to be sewing with this on the bed of the machine, I need to put the clips flat side down. I've not been videoing the whole process for several reasons, one of which is that I just want to get on and sew it, and what's happened in nearly every bit of this particular bag, I have sewn every seam twice. I had to take it apart and take it out. Now here I've overlapped this little corner a little bit too, got that sticking out, so that's going to make that a bit difficult to come over. So I'll see how I go on, and if there is an issue I may just trim it down a little bit. In the ByAnnie patterns, Annie has this thing about a stiletto, and she pops it in the actual fabric and pulls it, I don't know how I'd feel about that. I might just rip the fabric, and at this stage I wouldn't want to do that, but we'll see. I have ordered one, but they're £20, and but I did try with my purple fang, but it doesn't have any purchase. Purple fang? No, I'm just going to show you. It just really slips off the fabric. It's just a plastic thing. Can't keep on track of what I'm doing. Right. That's another reason why I've not been videoing it, because I can't do more than one thing at once these days. Okay. So that it's covered mostly. I'll need to pull that in there and see. And then I'll just get on with stitching it when I've had something to eat. Okay, I've no idea now what you can see, what you can't see. My arm is going to be in the way a lot because I've got to guide it and faff about with it. So it's just the idea of it, really. And it may or may not work, and I may end up having to take it out again. So this is a bit too far over. Let's tip it in. And then your clip gets stuck on the little, what's it, plate. Okay, let's see. So I came up against a bump then, and that will be the elastic on the inside and the front of the border. Got several layers on here. Ooh. It's going to be too far over now, because it'll get a little flap. This is where it gets a bit difficult, because you've got pleats, and it's supposed to have ByAnnie Soft and Stable. This is Bosal that I'm using because I couldn't get that. I have now got some, but I've not used it to actually create anything with it. Okay, so I need to lift that up. Having got some edges, creases out of the way. Annie's method relies on you making the fabric do what you want it to. I can't remember. Show the fabric who's boss. Out you come. And this is where you need something to pull it over, whilst also smoothing out the wrinkles, keeping it in line, making sure that you... Anyway, I said I wasn't going to speak during this. Oops, a daisy. I'm going to end up with a broken needle. It's very difficult to actually concentrate on keeping the binding where it's meant to be, making sure your foot's on the edge, your needle's not going to go off this side, and also get this covering the stitching from underneath. I'm just stitching it a stitch at a time. Okay, now then. And also being aware of, are there any pleats underneath? Is it all twisted? How is it? Okay. Let's see where we're up to. What have we got here? Ow. Also, the bit that you may be trying to flatten has also got this binding on it and ridges from that, and there you go. Yeah, it's a bit of a disaster. See, that's not on this binding at this side. But I haven't got a pleat or anything in. So that bit could be taken out and redone. Not sure if you can see that. And that seems okay. No pleats in it or anything. That's just a bit bunched up. Let's see how we go. The problem is these get stuck on here and you think you're going on a home run, and not quite the case. Coming over a bit. I'm filming. It's gone a bit wiggly. So with that bit, I've missed that because I brought it quite a bit over. Not got a lot to play with when you've got the thicknesses, but I'll give it a good study later. It seems like my dinner is ready. Okay. Okay, so now I've made my curve and I've joined onto this other side of the bag, and I'm just coming down this, which is the front of the bag. No, this is the front of the bag. The back of the bag is down on my machine. Pin there. So keep that down. Lift that up. Just about getting the zipper pull over there. It's not essential to do it at that point, but that's it. I'm going to be moving it at some point, so it may as well be then. Move it a bit further along, I think. That's it, then it got a bit more. Oh, have I? No, I haven't. Maybe I've moved it a bit too soon. I'll move it back. I'll turn this off. I haven't videoed since mid-June, I think, and it's now October, mid-October, and I did get a big ring light, and it's got 3 places for my phone, but I haven't got it back up again yet, so I'm just managing with what we've got. So I moved the zip. In the UK, I'm used to calling these zips. But these are ByAnnie zippers, and everything's about zippers and zipper pulls, and but anyway, to me it's a zip. But I'm coming along to saying zipper because I've seen that many videos of zippers are easy. Right, so I had taken this along a bit too early, and it made it more tight, so I just brought it back and just refreshed my memory with the little video, the add-on video, and I'm off again now. I'll wait till that comes off here a bit. So I need to keep that level with the end of the zipper tape. The zipper tape. For a little while longer. Then it's less cumbersome. I'll just take that pin out. This bosal, I don't know yet whether the soft and stable is softer and easier, but it is a big fight with the bosal to actually move it out of the way sometimes. And I'm suffering with I've got arthritis in my fingers, and had a bad flare up in May, which hasn't fully gone away, so some days are worse than others, but not doing too bad today. It's not so much the pain but the dexterity at times. Right, come on. So, when the instructions for ByAnnie when doing binding, she doesn't press it, as I don't normally if I'm doing a binding on a quilt or something, but she does have it pinned every 3 or 4 inches just to keep it together. It's just getting a bit wayward, so I'm just doing that again. Get in. I took it out too soon. Just trying to get that, what I call level with the edge, but her term is even. Getting it even with the edge. As you can see, I left the selvage on. I knew it would be over the edge, but I'm bouncing that needle a bit. There we go. Now then. It's a nice little polka dot, this Rose and Hubble polka dot. So, as you just, I'm not doing any more, we're going to go off to drumming shortly. So I need to trim that. It's a bit of a fancy way of putting a zip in at the end. So there is a zipper tab to go on yet, folded up and put on once I've actually done these edges. So I'm not doing that today, as I say. But it's coming on, isn't it? I'm pleased with the colourways. I'm pleased with how this has had the impact that I wanted it to have, the black against the... I've done this much to this bag, it's getting a bit grubby, I think. But I think it's quite a good impact, and I'm choosing a yellow buttercup zip. And ByAnnie zips, just in case you don't know, are 4.5. And they're not 4.5 inches wide. That's the gauge on them, so that's the spacing on the teeth and everything, and they are wider than an ordinary dressmaking zip. So that's basically going to be the idea. So I just need to tidy up some edges, and then that will turn into a little handle, and that will go down there, as I said before. So I'm almost at the end of this bag. I'm sewing the binding on this bag. I'm on the second side. Everything might be in your way for looking at it, but I'm just trying to... I'm capturing moments of it, not necessarily... No, I've lost my stiletto. Thank you ever so much for watching. It's one of those where I just recorded this ending and it went to slow-mo. So, anyway, thank you ever so much for watching. I really enjoyed putting that together. I hadn't realised I'd got enough to do a kind of mini sew-along really, but we'll do some of the processes that I went through to complete this bag. So I've got a few other things to now show you. I've managed to load up all the media for 3 videos, and I'll try and get those edited over the next few days. So thanks again. It feels great to be back, and power on. Okay, bye.